Broadcasting more than 2,000 games live and archived in 15 sports in over 10 counties in western Pennsylvania, as well as being the exclusive home for all the WPIAL playoffs and championships for nearly 2 decades. Anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Welcome to coverage of WPIAL basketball 2017-2018 here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. High school basketball at tribhssn.triblive.com is sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by AstroTurf, by Carlow University, proud sponsor of the 2018 WPIAL Girls Basketball Playoffs, and by Trib Total Media.
And we welcome you into Woodland Hills High School, continuing coverage of WPIAL Basketball 2018. You're watching it tonight live on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Pretty important matchup. We've made it to the final week of the regular season. Tonight we find ourselves in 6A Section 3. Penn Hills 18-2, 10-2 in the section. They visit Woodland Hills tonight. The Wolverines are 17-3. They are also 10-2 in the section. With Kyle Dawson, I'm Bob Orkwis. Chris Lochner running the controls tonight from Woodland Hills High School. 10-2, 10-2. It says it all. Big slice of the section championship at stake tonight, Kyle.
This section, and we talked about this when we had Fox Chapel and Woodland Hills a couple weeks back now, this section is insane. Right now as we stand with 2 section games left for all of these teams, 4 teams have a chance at a section championship. 2 of them here tonight, 2 that control their own destiny here tonight between Penn Hills and Woodland Hills, as Bobby mentioned, both 10-2. In section play, and the winner of this gets at least a share of the section championship. The loser could be the number 4 seed out of this section. That's how stacked and top-heavy really this section is with these 2 teams, Fox Chapel and Latrobe, and even Norwood and Penn Trafford, Hempfield, Plum, no slouches. It's just the top-heavy of the 4 teams at the top of this section are that good. And these are 2 really, really good basketball teams. 31 combined or 35 combined wins on the season. 2 programs that maybe on one side for Woodland Hills it really hasn't traditionally been that great. Penn Hills for the last couple of seasons, it's been wait your turn till you're a senior, and then we're going to have a lot of success, and they have the last couple of years.
There are 12 teams in the 6A classification that will make the playoffs. We will talk more about the other teams at halftime tonight. The 4 teams are in, as Kyle said, but where they seed out, that's going to be determined tonight and Friday. If we can get through the storm tomorrow morning, that's already got both of these school districts on a 2-hour delay, so that's some good news. It's senior night tonight. 2 of the top teams in the section, 2 East Hills rivals. Throw that all in. We got a packed house. It's a great atmosphere tonight for this contest.
It will be, and I was talking with Penn Hills head coach Dan DeRose earlier, and he said, you know what, this is going to be a playoff atmosphere. We know that. This is a small gym for a 6A school. You can probably see on the camera here, kind of packed in a little bit at Woodland Hills, as opposed to even in this section where you go to Penn Hills, a bigger gym now with the new school, Fox Chapel, a bigger school. Latrobe's a little bit packed in, but a lot of these schools in 6A now have a bigger gym, and it's more of an echo type deal, but this one's really, really packed in, and the 2 sides are basically 10 feet away from the baselines and the sidelines either way.
Second matchup of the season between these 2 rivals. Earlier in the year at Penn Hills, it was a 68-60 win for the Indians, Kyle. They were up big in that game by 17. Woodland Hills made a run. Penn Hills again went up big in the 4th quarter. They got it down to 3, Woodland Hills did, with 52 seconds left, but Penn Hills hung on. They win. That gives them a 2-game lead over Woodland Hills. For the Woodland Hills Wolverines, they're looking to return the favor here at home. I like what Odell Miller said, the head coach for Woodland Hills. He said, They own it right now. We got a chance to come back later on and get it back. That's what's also at stake here tonight.
Yeah, a pretty decent basketball game the first time around for these two. You mentioned Penn Hills was up 17 and 12 at one point, or 2 points in the second half, and Woodland Hills able to chip back into it. The two styles that these two teams play are more up-tempo, fast-paced. They're going to turn the ball over a little bit. They know that, but they can shoot it well for the most part. They have guards that can slash to the rim well. They have bigs that can play and rebound underneath the basket, get second chance opportunities. That's important for both of these teams. But these two styles of play clash really well in order to have a really good basketball game. And it was the first time around. And the key late, and we saw this when we saw Woodland Hills against Fox Chapel, is number one, free throw shooting, and number two, it is being able to little bit limit your turnovers in a sense and get second chance opportunities. Late in that game when it was 63-60, 2 turnovers, a missed 3 by Woodland Hills, and there's your difference. And 5 of 6 free throws from Corey Fulton for Penn Hills in that contest as well toward the end of the game. So down the stretch, making your free throws, not turning the ball over, and you set yourself up with a good chance to win. But Penn Hills is a team that doesn't shoot the ball overly well as a team. Big key for them is getting on the offensive boards. They've kind of adapted a little bit. In talking with Dan DeRose today, we want to get 20 offensive rebounds, and we're at practice. They're running drills to get these offensive rebounds, and if they're not getting the offensive rebound, they're running and doing push-ups and all that stuff.
What if they shoot 100% from the field?
Then it's no problem. But a team that historically really doesn't shoot the ball overly well, but they've got some really good players too. Both these teams do.
Yep, let's talk about two of them, maybe two of the premier players in this section, maybe in this classification. Let's go with first Davon Stevens from the Penn Hills Indians, the 6'5 senior. He's a matchup nightmare.
He is, and he's probably, I haven't had a chance to see him, but from all I've read, from talking to both coaches, from reading articles around this section, he's probably the most versatile player in the WPIAL. And I say that because he's a 6'5 player that can play on the wing, he can play at guard, he can play forward, get in underneath the basket to score his points, he can shoot it a little bit, 47% from the field, he can make his free throws, he can defend, he can rebound, he kind of does it all. And a versatile player that is really good, not only in this section, but maybe in the WPIAL, one of the best players around. 18 points a game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He's the only returning starter from this Penn Hills team who, by the way, 18-2, nothing to scoff at, but 18-2 after losing 8 players from the varsity team last year and 4 starters. And Stevens the only one that returns from the starting lineup, so it's been a really impressive year for him.
The numbers you illustrated, too, to me, Kyle, maybe the most impressive one is here's a 6'5 versatile player. He played everything from point guard to power forward, 5 assists a game. That's very impressive.
Well, he can pass too, and he can facilitate, so he can go to the point guard position if he has to and do his job from that end. But he's been really, really awesome for Penn Hills. And it's not just him either. Corey Fulton and Cam Wiley, both double-digit scorers too in terms of averaging their points a game. So they're really good too. And all athletes at Penn Hills, they're going to be able to score the basketball and run. So you have to be able to keep up with that and score with them.
On the other side, we look to one of the 5 seniors that are being honored right now for Woodland Hills. On cue, it's Amonte Britt. Well, what a resume and what a stellar career he has had here at Woodland Hills.
All-time leading scorer. He surpassed 1,000 points against Latrobe earlier this season. He became the all-time leading scorer, passing assistant coach Michael Keys against Latrobe the second time around this season. That was a couple of weeks ago. Over 1,300 points for his career. And again, this is a program, and this is not a knock on Woodland Hills, but the last couple of years, this basketball program really hasn't been successful. And he's been one of the standouts for the last 4 years, over 1,300 points. And he's a matchup nightmare for everybody, too, man. He can shoot. He can play it from the wing. He can drive to the basket. He kind of does it all offensively, too. And Coach DeRose for Penn Hills, when I was talking to him today, said he's the best guard in the WPIAL. High compliments for an opposing coach.
We're going to talk about Dan DeRose, Penn Hills head coach, Odell Miller, Woodland Hills head coach. Right after this, the senior night festivities are over. The teams have come back to the court to finish their warm-up. We'll step aside and be back with more of our pregame show right after this. You're watching WPIAL Basketball 2018. Coverage is only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, No other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDrivesYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
380 Discount Warehouse in Murraysville carries a full line of brand new furniture at discount pricing. 380 Discount Warehouse carries Ashley, Liberty, Vaughn Bassett, and Best Home Furniture, and many more. You can special order your furniture at discount pricing. While you're there, shop the many other departments, including tools, automotive, food, pet and wildlife, household goods and cleaning supplies, lawn and garden, and seasonal holiday decor. Visit them on the web at shop380.com or on the road at Route 380 in Murraysville. Open Tuesday through Sunday 9 to 5. Shop 380 Discount Warehouse and save big.
Check out the new Trib Live High School Sports Network on social media this season for breaking news, scores, pictures, videos, links to our articles, and more. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle Trib Live HSSN. Get in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/TribLiveHSSN. And on our YouTube channel, you can find thousands of interviews with local student athletes and coaches, plus highlights and full games. The spot for Western Pennsylvania high school sports on social media this season is the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Back at Woodland Hills High School with Kyle Dawson, Bob Orkwis, Chris Lackner running the controls. The head coach for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, Odell Miller, is in his 6th year. Not a lot of success in the basketball program's history here at Woody High, Kyle, but Odell Miller has slowly built this program into respectability, into the playoffs last year, and getting a chance to battle tonight for a section championship for Coach Miller.
Yeah, he's done a really good job of kind of turning this program around. I mentioned earlier in the pregame show, this is a team that really hasn't had a lot of success. Really, the last time was that 25-4 season that ended up with a playoff disappointment when Shaquem Alonzo was still here for Woodland Hills and all of that. Those guys on that team, and that was really before Odell Miller's time. So he's kind of come into a situation where it's been a little bit tough sledding the first couple of years. He was 4-17 his first year. Not a single win the second year of his tenure, 0-21, 5-16 after that, 12-10, 16-10 last year, and now he's got 17 wins already this year and an opportunity to make a lot of noise in the playoffs. So when you look for stability and when you look for improvement from a program, you're certainly getting it here. You kept Odell Miller around through the struggles, knew that the basketball program might turn around, and so far it has. So kind of a welcome sight for Woodland Hills, because it's a school, too, overall that really was known for its football program, and now other sports are starting to turn around, which is always a good thing.
Last year was the first state playoff appearance for 22 years. By the way, you just talked about it, 17 wins, the most for Odell Miller, leading the Woodland Hills Wolverines basketball program. Dan DeRose, 3rd year at Penn Hills. Kyle, all he is doing is going for his 3rd straight section championship.
Yeah, he's been a really great addition to this Penn Hills program, and he brought a different style of basketball to Penn Hills. It's more up-tempo. They're not going to shoot it overly well, but they're going to get up and down the floor. They're going to rebound. They're going to get their opportunities, and then they're going to have really good guard play, which is what the other team needs to have if you're going to beat Penn Hills. That's just the style of basketball that Dan DeRose has brought to this Penn Hills program. A little bit of controversy at the end of the year last year come playoff time. But this is a team that is retold, and from a program standpoint, he mentioned today, you know, our seniors have really bought in to the program, because it's been, if you're not a senior, essentially, you're not playing. So you have to wait your time. It's a JV team that's only lost a couple of games since Odell Miller took over. So they know their time is going to come, and when it does, they've produced, and no surprise here. They've got 18 wins this year.
Dan DeRose, 19 wins. Year 1, 19 wins in year 2, trying to better that. He's at 19 right now. It would be a disappointment if he ends up this season with just 19 wins.
Yeah, an opportunity. Woodland Hills tonight and Trib on Friday night and then playoff time. So they're not going to like it if they don't get the 19 wins here.
Get ready to introduce the starting lineups. We're going to pause and honor America here shortly with the playing of our national anthem from a packed Woodland Hills High School. Woodland Hills fans are in front of us here. We're up top at the gymnasium. Across the way, the Penn Hills fans. The girls programs played the opener tonight, the girls-boys doubleheader. Penn Hills girls were successful. They were victorious earlier tonight. We had senior night festivities, and now we got a big matchup as we talked about the share the section title on the line here tonight. And elsewhere, if you're looking at this section, the other big game, Fox Chapel and Latrobe, that kind of played out nice for this Tuesday night. Those four teams, these two and those two, the top four teams in this section.
Yeah, an opportunity for Fox Chapel and Latrobe tonight, too, to get a leg up here on these teams. But the opportunity here is you win, you get a section championship, all on the line.
Alicia Wilson will sing the national anthem from Woodland Hills. Alicia Wilson with a great rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. Penn Hills on the road, Woodland Hills the home team. Woodland Hills in the whites, turquoise and black, the gold and red for Penn Hills. Kyle has the starting five for the Indians and the Wolverines.
Let's start with the visitors, the Penn Hills Indians, mentioned 18-2 overall, 10-2 in Class 6A, Section 3 play under third-year head coach Dan DeRose. They'll start with a 6'5 senior, Davon Stevens. They'll play a forward position. Corey Fulton, a 6-foot senior guard in the lineup as well. Cam Wiley, a 6'2 senior guard as well. He'll be joined, those three will be joined by Keyshawn Adams, a 6'6 senior forward. Big-time presence underneath the basket for Penn Hills. And the starting lineup will round out with Miles Yarbo, a 6-foot senior guard, whereas number 23, big-time rebounder, maybe not so much points, but a good chance for him to have an impact on the game as well. For Woodland Hills, 17-3 overall, also 10-2 in Class 6A Section 3 play. Odell Miller in his sixth season navigating the Woodland Hills boys basketball program. Keandre Bowles, 18 points a game, 6'1", junior guard in the starting lineup. Traymon Josie, a 5'9 junior guard. Olson Nicholson, a 6'3 junior forward, as well as Khalil Wilson, a 6-foot senior forward, and Amonte Britt, who we mentioned, 21 points a game this season, the all-time leading scorer for the Wolverines at 6 foot. He's a senior, he's a guard.
And let me just correct something. It's 18 wins for Penn Hills. I got ahead of myself there. Looking to get 19 for the third straight year under Dan DeRose. You talked about it. Amonte Britt leads the Wolverines in scoring. And Keandre Bowles, second and almost 17 points a game. You talked about the big three for Penn Hills. Davon Stevens is over 18. Cam Wiley is at 14.4. And Corey Fulton is over 13 points a game. So those are the big three as far as scoring-wise. Dan DeRose likes Corey Fulton. He says what they haven't had in a while here is a pure point guard. Your officials working tonight's game, Joe Janik is the referee. David Lawrence and Dale Ross are the umpires. The Wolverines are being introduced. Once they get on, we'll have the opening tip, and we'll get it on between the Wolverines and the Indians. Big-time rivals. Schools not that far from each other. Packed house.
This should be a fun one. Good atmosphere, a little bit of chill in the air in some senses. Cold outside, warm inside. Small gym, loud gym. All for a section championship.
The warm's about to get hot for this contest. Penn Hills in the gold and red will move from right to left for this first quarter. Woodland Hills in the white, turquoise and black. They will move opposite. Opening tip is tapped back by Olson Nicholson. First possession goes to Woodland Hills. Tremont Josie, the junior point guard, into the forecourt left. On the near side to Nicholson. Driving in from the left side. Lays it up and in. Keyshawn Adams got there late. Nicholson has the first two of this contest. He'll try for three. The personal charge against Corey Fulton.
Man, a little bit of an isolation play there for Nicholson. Right off the left wing, able to go to the basket, draw the contact. Not very good defense from his man. And a man look for Penn Hills. That's why the help had to come.
Stevens gets the miss. Maybe we're the jinx guys here. Woodland Hills, when we had them against Fox Chapel, struggled mightily from the foul line.
0 of 11 to start the game in that one. That can't happen tonight.
0-1 here this evening. They have a 2-0 lead. Corey Fulton has possession for Penn Hills and hands it off to Miles Yarbo. Back to Fulton. Flips it to the near side, right wing to Cam Wiley. Gets it inside the paint. Just inside the free throw line for Devon Stevens. No good, and the rebound goes out of bounds off of Olson Nicholson. It'll be a right baseline inbound for the Indians.
Good look for Stevens, just a little bit strong from 15.
That's well within his range. There he cuts to the hoop. That is within his range. Can't get it to go. Nicholson clears the glass for Woodland Hills. Monte Britt on the right wing into the right corner with the Bulls back to Britt. Britt is guarded by Cam Wiley. Gets a screen, top of the key, hesitates, drives, dishes. Near corner three for Nicholson is short. Rebound comes to Stevens. Stevens up the floor, will take it in. Picks up the dribble, flips it over to Wiley. Wiley to Fulton. Almost stolen by Josie. Fulton will drive. His short jumper is no good. Rebound ends up into the hands of Monte Britt. He comes up the left side. Euro step. 15-footer short. Rebound strong underneath by Khalil Wilson. Then we get a whistle as bodies. Wilson and Yarbo go crashing to the floor. And we're going to get a personal foul charged against Miles Yarbo. Two personals in this first quarter, both against Penn Hills. 2-0 lead for Woodland Hills, 1:26 in. Woodland Hills will work at the Tremont Josie near half court, guarded by Yarbo. Coming to his left, back right to Britt. Britt goes into the right corner. That is Bulls. He'll set, reset, fire, no. Nicholson, rebound up and in. Nicholson has the first four of the game, and Woodland Hills has a 4-0 lead.
Second chance points, a big factor for Woodland Hills tonight. Nicholson, a good rebound off the glass, and not really a good take by Bulls prior.
Stevens at the near elbow, pulls it back out at the logo. Guarded by Nicholson. Back to the near side, keeping the dribble, Devon Stevens. Bounces it over to Keyshawn Adams. Pass underneath to Corey Fulton, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Condre Bowles. Or checking, it's not Bowles, it's Tremont Josie.
Yeah, Josie came around. You probably saw on the top of your screen there as you're watching on video. Josie kind of just wrapped around as he tried to come around and deflect that pass, and you'll get that called every time.
Indians inbounding from the baseline, looking for their first points of the contest. Get it to Stevens. There's almost a steal back to Stevens. Josie causing all kind of trouble, still causing trouble. Stevens finally gets it, bowls his way to the hoop. He gets the physicality, and that personal goes against Josie, his second. That'll send Davon Stevens to the line to shoot 2.
Well, that was another thing we saw in that Fox Chapel game. A couple players.
Or it's Adams. I apologize. I'm mixing up Adams and Stevens.
Foul trouble early for Josie. 2 fouls within 10 seconds of each other. First free throw good for Adams at the line. He'll get a second one here after a substitution. Jaquan Smith into the game.
Keyshawn Adams, the senior, he breaks the ice for Penn Hills. It's 4-1. I apologize again. Second shot is missed. Long rebound, though, into the hands of Cam Wiley. Wiley keeps possession for the Indians, down 3. And here is Cam Wiley, the 6'2 senior, coming to the near side. Flips it over. Fulton on a give and go. That's Stevens. Bounce pass to Adams. Adams works his way in, and he gets it to roll. Hung on the back of the rim, and down it goes. Got to realize that Keyshawn Adams has the sweet hairstyle going tonight. And there he is on the defensive end. Adams with a steal for the Indians. Outlets to Stevens, who fires a 3. It rims out. Rebound deflected underneath off the fingertips of Khalil Wilson. Out of bounds it goes. It will be Daryl Mason to enter the lineup for Penn Hills. Adams takes a seat on the bench. You already mentioned that Jaquan Smith had entered the game for Woodland Hills. Corey Fulton on the right wing will set it up for Penn Hills. Lobs it underneath to Cam Wiley. Wiley gets run into by Bulls. It goes out of bounds off of Woodland Hills. It'll be Penn Hills basketball. The esteemed George Novak in attendance tonight.
Have it no other way.
The professor, successful athletic director, head coach here at Woodland Hills. Always nice to see him. Turnaround from 12. No good for Stevens. Rebounded by Bowles for the Wolverines. 4-3 game. Woodland Hills with the ball in the lead. There in the forecourt left. Bowles is directing traffic. Gets it to Amonte Britt. He shouts out the play. Back near side to Bowles. Flashing out top of the key. It's Wilson. Driving, hanging, missing is Keandre Bowles. Got a little bit out of control. The ball misses everything, goes out of bounds. It'll be Penn Hills basketball as Keyshawn Adams, the 6'6 senior, will re-enter for the Indians.
Yeah, Khalil Wilson had a shot at the offensive rebound, just couldn't get his hands wrapped around the basketball, goes out of bounds. And Penn Hills offensively hasn't really looked that great, besides Keyshawn Adams at the free throw line on the same possession, getting a bucket after a second chance.
We got 7 points. Adams has all 3 for the Indians. Nicholson has 4 for the Wolverines. As we near the halfway point of the first quarter. Nice drive from right to left. Corey Fulton. Fulton is fouled. Looks like Jaquan Smith was in the area. He'll get charged with his first personal. Penn Hills win bomb from the right baseline, trying for their first lead of the contest. Players fall down. They'll lob it out to Cam Wiley. Corey Fulton comes out to set up the offense at half court, directs traffic, gives it to Miles Yarbo. Back near side to Fulton. Lobs for Stevens. Finds a cutting Adams. Up off the back of the rim, no. Tip is no good. And this defensive rebound is pulled down by Wilson. Ball is loose on the floor, comes to Fulton, drives. Left-handed layup attempt is no good. Adams fights for the rebound. It comes into the hands of Wiley. And Cam Wiley misses. And Olsen Nicholson has the rebound for Woodland Hills.
Like them letting them play early. Lots of contact down underneath the basket on those second chances.
Big time physical play underneath. Good hesitation in the drive. Blocked by Adams. As Keyshawn Adams blocks the shot. Fulton at the other end. Can't get it to go. Back playing defense was Nicholson. And the ball goes out of bounds off the block of Olsen Nicholson. Good job to get back. And he blocks the layup attempt from Corey Fulton.
Yeah, a lot of ball there, but on both ends on the transition there, both fouls typically. But again, letting them play it as long as it's consistent, you won't hear anybody complaining.
Adams has it on the right, blocks, falls down, loses the basketball. Nicholson had it, lost it, and it ends up into the hands of Davon Stevens, who sets up the Penn Hills offense. Looking on the right side for Cam Wiley. Britt came in, stole the basketball, but he ended up out of bounds. 2:59 to go in the first quarter. 4-3. Woodland Hills leads Penn Hills. Fulton will drive in. Fade away from 10, near side, no. Rebound tipped up, and it's controlled by Nicholson. He's got 4 rebounds in the first quarter. Outlets to Keandre Bulls. Bulls and Yarborough collide, and Miles Yarborough is going to get his second personal.
I was going to say, if there's not a foul on that play, I don't know if we're going to see another foul called all night. A little bit of a trip. The two ran into each other beyond the arc, and then after the offensive man fell, that's when the foul was called.
Daryl Mason back in off the bench. Tyree Spencer also in for the first time for the Indians. Lob near side to Khalil Wilson. Back to Monte Britt. He's pretty patient. We saw it against Fox Chapel on that frustrating night. Led the team in scoring in that loss, but didn't really get frustrated even though he had a bad night. Like that about Monte Britt. Left elbow jumper. It is good! And Britt is fouled. Second personal against Corey Fulton. Britt has his first 2. Woodland Hills leads 6-3, and Amonte Britt at the free throw line to her left, trying to make the conventional 3-point play.
And Fulton and Britt drawing a little bit after that one. Not a ton of contact, but enough to draw a foul, and excellent make from the elbow by Britt, too.
Makes the and 1. 4-point lead again for Woodland Hills. They led 4-0 to start the game. Hesitation and a drive by Fulton. Switches to the left hand, can't get the go. Rebound tip by Mason is no good. Outlet for Woodland Hills. Can Bulls save it? He cannot. He goes out of bounds. A good idea, but the pass just a little too far for Keandre Bulls on the breakout, Kyle. 2:13 and Penn Hills. Dan DeRose will take a timeout. 2:13 to go in the first quarter. 7-3 lead for Penn Hills. Want to let you know that if you're a working professional and ready to move up in your career, Seton Hill University has a program just for you. Seton Hill's adult degree program offers flexible undergraduate degree courses in areas like accounting, criminal justice, business, and human services. The adult degree program has 5 start dates a year and offers convenient course times, financial aid, a 96% placement rate, and career services for life. Register for our next info session and learn more at setonhill.edu/ADP. Seton Hill University, this way up. With Cal Dawson, Bob Orkwis, Chris Lackner producing our video stream tonight. 7-3 lead for the Wolverines here at home. These two teams average-wise on the season, they can put the ball in the hoop, Kyle. 71.9 for the Wolverines, 67.8 for the Indians, but just 10 points on the board here late in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle offensively tonight. You mentioned that 71.9 a game for Woodland Hills. That's the best points per game total in 6A. It's 5th best in all of the WPIAL. So a team that can score the basketball with good ease. Bulls a big factor as to why he's held scoreless tonight so far and was held to 8. The first time these two teams played, Amonte Britt, 21 points a game. He's got 3 tonight, but really Olsen Nicholson has been really the only factor offensively for Woodland Hills, and for Penn Hills it's been pretty much all Keyshawn Adams, despite Stevens having a couple of open looks.
Yep, Stevens has not scored yet. He averages over 18 points a game. Ball is loose, and Britt has a steal. Drives, goes up and under. And Amonte Britt lays it in for his 5th point.
Talk about a great finisher. That's just a brilliant move. I'm happy there's video so people could see that.
In traffic, absolutely. Amonte Britt with a beautiful finish. Lob to Stevens. Right side, lays it up and in. Nice entry pass from the top of the key from Tyree Spencer. Stevens will get the job done inside and outside. Back to 4 at 9-5. But Corey Fulton like a defensive back. A safety almost makes a steal in the backcourt, but he ran out of room on the near sideline. And Penn Hills will check in Kyrie Hairston Mitchell. The 5'11 sophomore comes right in front of Amonte Britt, who inbound from the near sideline. Lobs at the Jaquan Smith at the logo. Sets up the offense for the Wolverines. Britt backs out, wants a screen from Bowles and then resets. Flips it near side to a wide open Smith. 15-footer is flat. Good rebound by Olsen Nicholson. Up, back of the rim, no good. Nicholson tips it. It's in the hands of Stevens, who wants to run. We're going to get a whistle near half court. We're going to get a foul charged against Woodland Hills. Britt picks up his first personal.
Yeah, Stevens rather having to go through a lot of traffic near half court. Bumped by two guys. Britt's the one that gets the foul assessed on him. Transition game is big for both these teams. They really like to get up tempo and play fast-paced and run. Can't do that if there's full court pressure as much.
Odell Miller said in the first game, they got us playing too fast. Blocked by Nicholson. Rebound Adams. Up and in for the Indians. He's got 5.
Nobody there to collect the block. That's the big problem there. You get the big block by Nicholson. Then nobody there to grab the basketball and cleaning up the laundry. Adams.
Odell Miller said they sped us up too much in the opening game. We like to play fast. They got us to play too fast. There's a foul on the offensive end charged against Cam Wiley for the Indians. Monte Britt to the free throw line for 2. He has made his only attempt so far in the first quarter. Team fouls 5 for Penn Hills, 4 for Woodland Hills in this first quarter. Foul line left for Britt. Makes the first. I didn't notice this against Fox Chapel. Let's see if he does it again, Cal. He kind of has a little hitch when he goes to shoot the free throw. Kind of resets his left elbow. Changes that basketball around. Let's see if he does it again. You see that? Doesn't matter. He makes them both. He's got 7.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, they used to laugh at Rick Barry until he made over 90% of his free throws in his career. Shot is missed. Rebound to Bowles. Look it up, kids. He used to shoot the free throws underhanded, like your grandfather. Top of the key. 3-pointer! Keandre Bowles. 14-7 lead for the Wolverines. 18 seconds to go in the first. Stevens on the sideline. Spencer needs help. Hands it off to Mitchell. Mitchell near half court with 6. Mitchell to the right with 5. A clear out. Flips to Stevens. 3 is up. 3 is off the rim. No good. Rebound. They're going to count the basket. Now they're going to talk about it.
I don't know about that one.
They said it's good.
I think he was still down at the hip.
Tyree Spencer got the rebound and the putback. The baseline official looked near side for help, but now there's a conclave. Let's take a break. We'll sort it out when we come back. After 1, Woodland Hills 14, Penn Hills 9. You're watching WPIAL Boys Basketball. Coverage is right here in the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
For a weekly in-depth look at boys and girls high school basketball in the district, log on to the WPIAL Round Ball Report every Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Join experts Chris Harlan, Sean Myers, and James Dawson for coaches' interviews and the latest hoops news around the WPIAL. Oh, and Don Rebel is back on the show as well. That's the WPIAL Round Ball Report, Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Well, if you're keeping score at home, get out the whiteout or the eraser and scratch the basket for Tyree Spencer, which I believe, Kyle, the correct call.
Absolutely. The ball was still at his hip when the horn sounded, and that would be the benefit. We talked about this the last time we had Woodland Hills. If you had a shot clock and you had the piping around the rim, could have that, but hey, another argument for another day. Made the correct call though. 7-point lead at the end of 1.
Penn Hills down 7. They start the second quarter. Moving to the right with possession. Adams, or Stevens puts it on the floor. It ends up in the hands of Nazir Taylor, who streaks up the floor with the speed and lays it up and in for his first 2. 9-point lead, the biggest for the Wolverines. Lob to Adams. Good look underneath. turning and scoring. Nice job to shield the defender. Davon Stevens has 4. All lob to the near side of Jaquan Smith. Penn Hills has brought out the half-court trap. Woodland Hills breaks the timeline, and they'll set up four-court left. They lead 16-9. A minute into the second quarter. Monte Britt has the ball. He has a game-high 7 points so far in this contest. Hands the Bulls back to Nazir Taylor. Taylor comes to the near side, left wing to Monte Britt. Loses his man, fires the 3. Count it for Monte Britt. Britt has certainly brought the A game. Quick outlet, and Davon Stevens gets loose for the layup.
Well, and we knew Britt we know he's a good scorer, number one, and going into that game that we had against Fox Chapel, he wasn't really much of a factor in the first half, but 10 points tonight. He's been a factor shooting the ball so far. So is he.
DeAndre Bowles picks up the loose ball and drains a 17-footer. He's got 5. Quick at the other end, the pace is picked up. Shot is missed, another rebound for Olsen Nicholson. Nicholson brings it up the floor. His pass, driving is Taylor, rejected by Davon Stevens. Miles Yarbrough will come back in. Britton inbound baseline left. 10-point lead for Woody High at 21-11. Britt gets it to Bowles. Bowles in the near corner. Finds his man. Khalil Wilson misses the 12-footer. Rebound to Yarbrough. Outlet. Layup. Score for Cam Wiley. His first 2 points. Bowles will get into traffic, but finds Jaquan Smith. And Woodland Hills and Odell Miller, they want a 30-second timeout with 5:48 to go in the second quarter. Woodland Hills 21, Penn Hills 13. Good start, exactly what you want on senior night for Woodland Hills. A, you're at home, and B, you're trying to split the season series. So good start for the Wolverines here at home.
Yeah, and really
easier said than done because they're very hyped.
Really important game, really important to start quickly, get a lead. It kind of goes to the football kind of things too, is when you can get out to an early lead and play from in front. It's a lot easier to do things than playing from behind. Probably way more so in football, and these two schools know a lot about that. But at the same time, basketball is a game of runs. Everyone knows that. And Woodland Hills getting out to a good start is huge. Don't have to play down from 17 points in the third quarter like they did the last time. Don't have to play down from 12 points late in the game and able to come back and scratch. If you get ahead, make the other team do that on your home court. Feed off the energy. Get yourself a big win tonight if you can hold on.
Ball's inbounded to Keandre Bowles. Nazir Taylor to Britt. Against the zone defense from Penn Hills. Britt near half court, gets it to Jaquan Smith on the far side. Smith will enter it into Khalil Wilson. Opposite side, he gets it to Taylor, who misses. And Davon Stevens has the defensive rebound for the Indians. He'll come up the floor, flips it near side to Cam Wiley, who resets, and Amonte Britt got in the way. He didn't want that foul, but it ended up with his second personal. Tried to get out of the way and just couldn't do it. Kyrie Hairston Mitchell will come back in for Penn Hills. Near side inbound from Fulton, goes into the backcourt to Wiley. Back to Corey Fulton. Fulton missed last year with an ACL. So he's a big addition coming back with some experience from his sophomore year. Three-pointer from the far corner by Adams, though. Fulton rebound. It is blocked by Nazir Taylor, but Taylor is called for the foul. He thought he had all ball, but Corey Fulton will shoot 2. And now Corey Fulton is getting talked to by Joe Janik.
Yeah, he and Taylor exchanging words after the foul. Absolutely a foul. Came across the arms, got a lot of the ball too, but make contact with the body, you're going to get the foul called on you.
Fulton misses the first. Nicholson is in for Woodland Hills. Mason is in for Penn Hills, and Tyree Spencer is looking to check in for Corey Fulton, which is a good substitution because you want to settle him down a little bit as he splits the pair. His first point of the game makes it 21-14. He'll get a chance to cool down a little bit on the bench and get a breather and get a swap or two of water and or Gatorade. Full court pressure. That's kind of token pressure as Wiley picks up Britt. Britt's going to easily bring it into the forecourt. In traffic, Bowles fires a three from the right side. No. Stevens with a rebound. Well, he can fly up the floor, but his pass is in the feet of Daryl Mason. It's a turnover for Penn Hills. It's nice to have a 6'5" guy leading your break like that, Kyle. We talked about him being a matchup nightmare. That's part of it.
Yeah, that's part of the versatility that he has. He can lead the break. He can be a point guard. He can be a two guard. He can be a three. He can play on the wing. He can be a forward.
Bowles left corner three, no good. Rebound, Spencer for the Indians.
That's another thing that he can do is knock it down to his guys using the length.
Good driving layup for Kyrie Mitchell as he drove in from the left side for his first two. It's a 5-point game. Woodland Hills has cut the 10-point deficit in half, but Britt fires a three from the right side. Bang!
Steps up into double team and knocks down a three. Just enough room to get it off.
Unafraid. That's a scorer's mentality right there. 13 for Amante Britt, including 2 threes and a conventional three-point play. Ball to Spencer. Davon Stevens. He'll hand it to Cam Wiley at the logo. Gets the 2-3 zone. Wiley on the left corner. In the left corner gets it to Stevens, who resets. 10-footer, no. Rebound is saved by Mason. But it's into Woodland Hills' hands. Outlet from Wilson to a driving Nazir Taylor for 2. And that's a way to run the break.
Yep.
And it was 5, and just that quickly, the lead back up to 10 for Woodland Hills at 26-16. Entry pass. Mason, no, but Daryl Mason is going to draw the foul. Daryl Mason, by the way, pretty good linebacker, also played tight end for Penn Hills. Khalil Wilson, by the way, charged with the personal. He committed to new head coach Bernard Clark to play football at Robert Morris. Also had an offers from West Virginia State, Slippery Rock, Seton Hill, West Virginia Wesleyan. I think Bernard Clark is going to do good things for that program at Robert Morris. First miss by Mason. We'll get the second opportunity from the right free throw line. Missed that one as well. Rebound is controlled. Good job by Mason in traffic to track it down. It keeps possession. So he shot those free throws like a linebacker. Spencer plays catch with Yarbo. Ball into the corner around the screen. 3 from Wiley, no. Good backside rebound by Spencer. Stevens 3 left side. That's off the mark. Rebound Mason. In traffic, no good. Yarbrough tips it up and in.
3 opportunities after the initial possession for Penn Hills. They mentioned they wanted to get to 20 offensive rebounds tonight. How about we pick up 3 on one possession and get a bucket?
They cut the deficit to 8. Foul line jumper. All night long for Khalil Wilson.
Yeah, and a good response. Defensively, get back and do your job if you're Penn Hills. And Woodland Hills has gotten out on the break and scored transition buckets pretty easily. That's why it's a 10-point game.
Woodland Hills, the defense was there, then Wilson turned around and it wasn't. And it's created some open looks and some easy baskets for the Wolverines, who lead by 10. Entry pass deflected by Khalil Wilson. It's into the hands of Keandre Bowles. Up the floor comes the 6'1 junior into the corner. Nazir Taylor fires it out. Good catch by Nicholson. Britt's 3 from the left side. Book it.
He tried to jump in to initiate contact too and fell down in a beautiful steal on the other end too on an outlet pass. Man, Britt's doing a ton tonight.
Britt has been everywhere. Resets, he'll drive. Great pass! Offensive foul is called. He got it to Taylor, but Amante Britt is called for his third personal foul on the player control foul as he drove the lane.
I believe the correct call, too. There's no restricted circle in high school basketball, so don't have to worry about that. But Britt, a little bit out of control going through the key, runs into the defensive player, takes a charge, and it was a beautiful dish, too, and it would have been a bucket had it not been for the offensive foul, too. But, man, is Britt impressive, and a little bit of drawing and pushing after that, too, with Spencer and him, and Britt will take a blow on the bench.
Yeah, probably will set for the remainder of this second quarter. Minute 15 to go. 31-18 lead for the Wolverines. 11, or check it, 13 is their biggest. They get it in. Adams forces that shot up. No good. Rebounded strongly by Wilson. Long outlet, good catch. Layup score for Keandre Bowles.
Well, and how about the ability to control, too, after getting that pass, kind of having to come down and settle it down.
Answer at the other end. Cam Wiley drains a tray for Penn Hills. Dan DeRose takes a timeout with 51.4 seconds to go before halftime. And it's a 12-point lead for Woodland Hills at 33-21. DJ off to her left, adding to the atmosphere. The pep band, actually the drum line is here for Woodland Hills too. They're in front of us between this rivalry matchup with a slice of the section pie, the section title online. Here this evening, if you look at the standings, these two teams 10-2 and then 9-3 for Fox Chapel and the Trib. So there's potential for two of these teams to end up with 11 wins.
Fox Chapel
12 wins.
Fox Chapel up 11 with 5:57 left in the game, too. We got started here late, so that one's almost done. Fox Chapel is probably the hottest team in the WPIAL right now.
They got some healthy players back. Ben Kelly specifically. Over and back is called against Woodland Hills, and they turn it over here late in the second quarter. Good chance for Penn Hills to cut into this deficit. Corey Fulton has checked back in, flips it to Mitchell. Good dish from Stevens to Adams, but he can't get the short jumper to go. Rebounded by Nazir Taylor. Rolls it to his teammate Khalil Wilson, and they get it back to Tremont Josie. He'll run the point with Britt on the bench with 3 fouls. Good job to track that loose ball down by Josie. Penn Hills aggressively defending him. Flip to the near side to Taylor. Back out to Bowles, and now Josie on the far side with 15 seconds. Goes against the double team. They'll flip it to Taylor. Taylor lobs, catch, turn, no. Backside rebound is good for Olsen Nicholson. Half-court shot, front rim, no. And the first half comes to an end. Woodland Hills led by 7 after 1. At the half, they have doubled that. They're up 14. It's Woodland Hills 35, Penn Hills 21. We'll take a break. Back with our halftime scoring recap, sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine. You're watching WPIAL Boys Basketball 2018. It's right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
While the weather outside may be frightful, the winter high school sports is delightful. That's here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Log on to the Trib, hssn.triblive.com for weekly audio and video coverage of boys and girls high school basketball, WPIAL wrestling, and PIHL high school hockey. The warmth and the glow of the winter sports season may be heard daily on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Check out the new and improved Trib Live High School Sports Network website every day. Log on to tribhssn.triblive.com for all the schedules, the scores, the standings, great articles, and features from around the WPIAL. And of course, live and archived broadcasts. If you are a high school sports fan, the only website you will need is the new Trib Live High School Sports Network at tribhssn.triblive.com.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Hi, this is Josh Roundtree with the new Trib Live High School Sports Network's PIHL Power Play Show. This winter, myself and the coach, Kevin Zilmansky, will bring you the most comprehensive coverage of high school hockey in Western PA. Hey, Kevin, any suggestions on how we can pull it off?
We're not goons. We're not bullies. No matter what people say or do, we have to be ourselves.
Okay. Well, word is that you've been letting success go to your head a bit.
Hey, what I do is none of your business. Is that clear?
This should be a fun season. It's the PIHL Power Play Show every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
AstroTurf.
Back at Woodland Hills High School at halftime, Bob Orkwis, Kyle Dawson, 35-21 lead for the Wolverines over the Penn Hills Indians, trying to clinch the winner, trying to clinch a share of the section title, Section 3 here in the 6A classification. A lot of emotion, a lot of fans, a lot of atmosphere, a lot of physicality, Kyle. Add it all up. A good first 16 minutes for Woodland Hills to lead by 14 at the break.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of contributions from a lot of different guys. I think the biggest thing for Penn Hills right now, probably turning the ball over a lot more than they would want to, and not really being able to put the ball in the basket. Stevens especially has had a couple of open looks that he just hasn't been able to knock down. Penn Hills down 14 in this game is by no stretch of the imagination out of this game. That is something to keep an eye on and keep in your brain as we go towards the second half and through the second half. This is a Penn Hills team that is 18-2 for a reason. They can score the basketball and they can defend, and I'd expect some adjustments to be made at the half by Dan DeRose and his staff and see a different Penn Hills team in the second half.
Amonte Britt has been good. Two numbers I'll throw out there, 16 and 3. One of those is really good, one of those potentially bad.
Yeah, he's been really awesome, and the problem is the personal fouls. Like you mentioned, we'll spoil the number 3 there for you. 3 fouls in the first half, 2 of which were picked up in the
fed
second
that to
quarter
you, by
there.
the way.
Yeah.
No spoiling necessary.
But yeah, Britt's been awesome offensively. He's knocked down 3 triples. That's his last 9 points are all from three-point land, and the couple that he's made too, one of them could have had a foul. The second one, or the one before that, was one that he made over a double team and kind of stopped and popped in traffic. And man, is he fun to watch from a guard standpoint. One of the best players in the WPIAL, no doubt, and probably 2 of those with Stevens here tonight, despite him only having 6 points. And that leads Penn Hills tonight, by the way, but 2 of the best players in the WPIAL on display tonight.
35-21 lead for Woodland Hills at halftime. Let's get the fans updated with our scoring recap.
Scoring recap sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, powering the Stay Strong and Play On program with the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Let's start with the Penn Hills Indians. Visiting team led by Davon Stevens. He's got 6 points, 5 points apiece from both Cam Wiley and Keyshawn Adams, 2 points apiece from Kyrie Mitchell and Miles Yarbo, and a point from Corey Fulton at the free throw line. Penn Hills by quarter, 7 and 14, and at the free throw line are 2 of 6 tonight. For Woodland Hills on the other side, 16 points for Amonte Britt. He leads the pack. 6 points from Olsen Nicholson, 7 points from Keandre Bulls, 4 points from Naz Taylor, who, by the way, today received a preferred walk-on offer from Pennsylvania State University. Came in as well.
The Penn State University. Good for
Nazir.
He deserves that. What a talented football player he is.
And then 2 points from Khalil Wilson by quarter for Woodland Hills, 14 and 21. At the free throw line, 3 of 4. Amonte Britt, 3 of 3. Olsen Nicholson, 0 for 1 at the stripe. Woodland Hills leads at the half, 35-21, but again, by no stretch of the imagination is this game over.
7 rebounds and a pair of blocks for Olsen Nicholson as well. He has a game-high 7 boards, 5 rebounds for Davon Stevens to lead Penn Hills. We are in the end of the stretch run. This is the final week of the regular season, and 6A is almost neatly wrapped up in a nice little bow. 12 teams are guaranteed to make the playoffs. 11 are in, 4 in this section. Penn Hills, Woodland Hills, Fox Chapel, Latrobe have all clinched. In Section 1 in 6A, Pittsburgh Central, Butler, and Pine Richland are the top 3 teams. Seneca Valley has a 2-game lead on North Allegheny. They play tonight. If Seneca Valley wins, they'll be the final qualifier for 6A. In Section 2, the 4 qualifiers, Cannon Mac, Mount Lebanon, Bethel Park, and Upper St. Clair. So it's fairly neat as far as 6A goes. Just a reminder, a week from tonight, the WPIAL Basketball Playoff Pairing Show live on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Should be a fun time, and this 6A playoffs I think is going to be really, really fun to watch. So I know that a lot of people watching this game are probably just fans of Penn Hills and Woodland Hills, but if you're not and watching this game, go to the 6A playoff sites for the boys' side. I think there's a lot of good teams. Not only in this section, all 4 teams are really good. Latrobe, Fox Chapel, and these 2 teams, but you have Pine Richland, you have Butler, you have Pittsburgh Central Catholic in section, section 1?
Section 1, yep.
And then in Section 2, of course, you have a lot of good teams, too. I think this 6A field is just absolutely stacked.
The other thing you're playing for, you want to build your resume because the top 4 teams are going to get byes, so you assume, probably correctly, that the 3 section champions will get byes. So you want to be that second-place team. I would think a second-place team with that bet.
Yourselves up nicely.
Yes.
And that's what makes this game so important tonight, too. Again, a share of the section title in the loser, and if it's Penn Hills, it likely won't be this result, but the loser could be 4th out of this section. That's just how it shakes out. And Penn Hills doesn't get to a cakewalk on Friday either. Latrobe's a really good basketball team. We'll be playing for positioning, and again, last check, Fox Chapel was leading Latrobe by 11 points in the 4th quarter. So as Fox Chapel wraps that up, and I think they haven't lost in a while. Fox Chapel, like I mentioned, is probably the hottest team, at least in 6A, if not in all of the WPIL, and that's a really good basketball team over there too. So, and no slouch either for Woodland Hills. Penn Trafford's probably not your best team in the section, obviously, but again, can't take a game in this section lightly ever. And a good opportunity for Woodland Hills on Friday to kind of seal the deal if it should hang on tonight.
35-21, Woodland Hills leading at the half. Key for the Indians, or keys for the Indians, Kyle, and for Woodland Hills to maintain this lead?
For Penn Hills, stop turning over the basketball on the offensive side, and the offensive rebounds have been there. So continue that, and then work in what you can scoring the basketball. But shots have to be there. They've been there, but maybe not so open. Penn Hills has an opportunity to continue to get better offensively. For Woodland Hills, I think the biggest reason or the biggest thing what's up the biggest thing for Penn Hills to do to keep this lead, or for Woodland Hills to keep this lead, is to kind of shoot the ball continually offensively. Just do what you were doing in the first half. I'm a little thrown off here.
Sorry.
But now Woodland Hills just got to do what you're doing offensively and keep turning them over defensively, keep up the pressure, and Amonte Britt's got to stay out of foul trouble. He can't pick up another foul before the last couple minutes of this game, or Woodland Hills is going to be in trouble.
Woodland Hills will start 3rd quarter with possession of the ball. Britt is back in with a 14-point lead. They'll move from left to right in the white, turquoise, and black. Penn Hills in the gold and red and gold. Ball bounced out to Britt. Britt is definitely feeling it. There's a 3 from the far side, short. Long rebound tracked down by Stevens for the Indians. Up the floor quickly to Corey Fulton, goes up and under. Can't get that to go, but he draws the foul, and Corey Fulton will shoot 2. Khalil Wilson picks up his 2nd personal.
Fulton 1 of 2 at the free throw line in the 2nd quarter. He's got 2 personal fouls as well, a guy that averages 13 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 78% free throw shooter. Knocks down the first.
Corey Fulton with 2 points. Now 2 of 3 from the free throw line. 2nd opportunity, foul line left. That is also good. By the way, Montel Staples, former colleague of ours on the network. Pass up, and there's a big time jam for Olsen. Nicholson ahead of the pack with a two-handed crowd pleaser. Former successful head coach at Duquesne High. Always good to see Montel. Catch, release, 3 for Fulton. Airballs it. Stevens misses. Rebounded by Bulls. Stevens would like to have that one back. It almost worked as a pass from Fulton. Stevens with just 6. 14-point lead. Ball was deflected. Look at Stevens hustling. Great hustle. He runs in to Penn Hills athletic director Stephanie Strauss. Knocks her through the door. That's the tension tomorrow for Davon Stevens. Okay, maybe not. Stephanie's smiling about it.
2-hour delay on
You can't fault he needs to come in early. You can't fault the hustle. Great hustle to try to save that for Stevens. Yeah, 2-hour delays now, but with the weather, we might be looking at a snow day tomorrow for a lot of schools in and around the area. Shot is missed. Good rebound, falling down, up and in for Keandre Bowles, and 1. $16-point lead. He's trying to make it 17. Keyshawn Adams picks up his first personal foul. Bowles makes the three-point play, the conventional three-point play. He's got 10. The lead is 17. Davon Stevens gets the answer with a tray. Quickly back up the floor, Woodland Hills. Good open look. Shot can't go for Khalil Wilson. Rebounded by Adams.
Penn Hills could use a run here. After the 3, you get a stop on the defensive end, get a basket here, and keep defending.
Yarbrough driving in. Nice job. Blocked from behind, but the foul is going to be charged to Olsen Nicholson. You'll take that. Now Yarbrough needs to convert the free throws, but you're absolutely right. You got to get a stop. You hit a 3, which is a big answer. Then you get a stop. You haven't had a lot of those. Woodland Hills has had a lot of good looks.
And Yarbrough doing a good job of drawing contact from behind. I think the foul for Nicholson was a little late, as the first one is good for Yarbrough. A little bit late on the whistle because I think the foul was called pretty much on the follow-through after the initial block of the basketball. Push after that is the reason for Nicholson's first personal.
Both free throws are good for Yarbrough. It's a quick 5-0 spurt for the Indians. They pick up the defensive pressure. Ball back to Britt. Far side to Tremont Josie. Gets it underneath. Layup is no good for Olsen. Rebounded by Adams. Here come the Indians. Davon Stevens flips it on the right wing. Long 3 for Wiley. Front rim, no. Good rebound by Keandre Bowles. Bowles has 5 boards. Brings it up the floor. Foul line jumper's good. He did it all himself. 12 for Keandre Bowles. Right close to his season average. He's just under 14 a game. Actually, excuse me, he's almost at 17 a game. Near side Wiley, 42-28 lead for Woodland Hills. They've certainly picked up the scoring pace, both of these teams, since the first quarter. Lob to Adams, has it deflected, but regains. Flips it near side to Fulton. Fulton fakes a jumper. His pass off the hands of Wiley. Tremont Josie up ahead will take it all the way and lay it up and in for his first 2. Timeout, Penn Hills. Dan DeRose wants a foul and none to be had. And the lead is back up to 16. These two teams close on the football field. If you look at the scoring through the first 2 quarters and at halftime, we got football-like scores, 14-7, 21-14, 35-21. Of course, then when they reclassified, they changed around, and Penn Hills and Woodland Hills no longer in the same classes, sections. They are in basketball. Woodland Hills trying to gain a split. They lost earlier in the year on the road at Penn Hills. And here they lead 44-28. Sometimes you see to stop and listen to the music, Chris.
He's enjoying it.
Chris Lackner producing our broadcast here this evening. Hope you're enjoying the video stream, live or archived.
Well, this is early in the basketball game to be doing this.
They roll it to half court.
Only 13 minutes left.
Corey Fulton. Well, he saved 5 seconds or thereabouts. Yarbrough. Stevens spots up from 16. No. Rebounded by Bowles. Bowles has had a good third quarter. He's got 5 points and 4 rebounds in this quarter. 4:35 clock turns in the third quarter. Woodland Hills has the ball and a 16-point lead. Bowles, Josie, right baseline. Good catch by Nicholson and a good reset, but he needs help. He's trapped. And Odell Miller saw it. He takes a 30-second timeout from the bench. That'll keep possession for the Wolverines, allow them to reset. Mentioned these two teams played earlier in the year. Davon Stevens for Penn Hills in the 68-60 win at 21 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks. He has been not nearly as effective here this evening for the Wolverines in that loss. Amonte Britt had 21, Owen Nicholson had 11. You talked about it earlier, Condre Bowles, who averages about 18, had just 8 in that contest. He's been different tonight. He's been really good, especially here in the third.
Yeah, Bowles with 5 points here in the quarter. Britt kind of nowhere to be found a little bit offensively at least. Of course, still early in the quarter. It's only 3.5 minutes in, but a really good night too on the flip side. The last time these two teams played for Stevens, he's been kind of held a little bit quiet. Tonight he's only got 9 points, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 blocks in the first matchup between these two for
That's a
Stevens.
Really good stat line. Lob out, deflected by Josie, saves it. No, he didn't. Good call. He's tried to get out of the way of the defender and then tried to sashay around Odell Miller. Just ran out of room on the far sideline. Fulton will bring it up into the forecourt left. The senior plays catch with Spencer. Wiley entry pass off the hands of Adams into the hands of Amonte Britt. He hasn't scored. He's certainly a calming presence, though, for Woodland Hills. Britt goes left side to Josie. Flashing out, Khalil Wilson. Hands to Amonte Britt. He directs traffic. He's not only been a 4-year starter for Woodland Hills, but he's been the leader, according to Coach Miller Kyle, for 6 years of this squad. They turn it over. Stevens outlet to Fulton. And a layup at the other end for Corey Fulton. Penn Hills could use more of that. 5 now for Fulton. And there's Fulton with a steal.
Just bad transition basketball for Josie, out of control.
Fulton gets out of control, but he's going to get saved as on his way to the hoop. He gets the harm. He'll get to shoot 2. Personal charged against Keandre Bowles, his first. Trying to cut into this 14-point lead is Corey Fulton. Makes the first. He missed his first free throw. He's made 4 straight since. He's got 6 points on the game. Tyree Mitchell in for the Indians. Jaquan Smith in for Woodland Hills. Second is good for Fulton.
And scored the final 5 points of that game the first time around. We talk about that game. 5 of 6.
5 of 6.
From the free throw line after it was 63-60.
Nice to have a closer like that, is
Absolutely.
it not? Full court pressure. Britt to Bowles. Turns it over. Wiley steals. Bounces it near side. Adams lays it up and in for Stevens, for 11. Timeout, Woodland Hills. They have been sloppy in the last 45 seconds or so. The lead is down to 10. Good timeout, I think, by Odell Miller.
Full court pressure has picked up a notch for Penn Hills, and that time, probably at 7 or 8 on the count, they had to throw a pass over the timeline, and not a good one. It gets picked off there, and Stevens probably should have got a foul, too, with the make. A little bit through traffic, but you'll take it down 10 points and keep building off this. Again, basketball, a game of runs, and if you're watching basketball and know a single thing about basketball, you don't need me to tell you that. But this has been a big run for Penn Hills and trying to chip into this big lead.
They have cut it down. It was 16 at its high point for Woodland Hills. It's back down to 10, and the Wolverines will have possession after the timeout. You got to make adjustments, and Dan DeRose has done that. Now, if you're Odell Miller, you need to readjust. You want to just better ball security. You talked about it. Penn Hills was hurt with some sloppy possessions and turnovers in the first half. And Woodland Hills doesn't want to see their double-digit lead slip away. Against the pressure, it's inbounded to Condre Bowles on the far side. Tries to get past Fulton. Fulton knocks it away, but couldn't save it. Good hands, good quick hands by Corey Fulton, almost creating another turnover. Monte Britt barking out orders. Gets it back, directs traffic, flips it to Bowles into the forecourt. Dribbles to the left elbow, now coming to the near side. Boy, Penn Hills has really ratcheted up the defensive pressure. Bowles will back it away, guarded by Tyrese Spencer.
Yeah,
gets it to Britt. Steal by Fulton.
Doing their best to deny Britt the basketball.
Fulton misses. Spencer has the easy putback for the Indians.
That's just great defensive work. Deny the best player of the basketball.
Britt gets it in traffic, runs, streaks, lays it, scores. Wow. Big basket. Here come the Indians back quickly. Fulton at the free throw line will back it out to Stevens. He's on the near side, skips it cross court. Reset. They drive by Mitchell. Gets it to Cam Wiley. Mitchell was lucky he wasn't called for traveling. Back out at half court. Under 2 to go, third quarter. 10-point game. Penn Hills has the ball. They trail. Near side. Spencer, they'll work it in. Stevens finds a cutting Spencer. Layup, no, but he draws the foul. Good job to stop and get Bowles off his feet. And Tyrese Spencer will shoot two. Not sure if he meant to stop. Not really a Don McGriff type pump fake, but he'll take it. Now you got to make the free throws if you're Spencer, the 6'1 junior.
Points when the clock is stopped are huge. There's one.
Either way, right? For the winners and for the leaders
Absolutely.
and the trailers. Always highly important.
Still a lot of basketball to be played, but I mean, in a 10-point game, and the run continues here for Penn Hills, any points you can get without clock coming off, you'll take.
Spencer has 3 all in this quarter. Trying to make the pair is Tyrese Spencer. He does just that.
Was 14 of 24 from the free throw line coming into the night, so not exactly the best free throw shooter, but does the job there.
There's that pressure once again. Tremont Josie easily breaks it. He'll drive. Blocked at the other end. But the foul was called on Corey Fulton. And he got the clean block, I think, but it was the body contact that drew the personal. That was
Josie went down hard.
Yeah, good hard foul. Nothing dirty, just a hard play at the defensive end by Fulton. Great breakout to break that pressure by Josie. The 5'9 junior, the foul line right, will shoot 2. First is good. He's got 3 all in this quarter. By the way, Jaquan Smith, Armani Obringer has not played tonight. Nazir Taylor, Khalil Wilson, and Amonte Britt are the 5 seniors that were honored tonight, the basketball playing seniors for Woodland Hills, as Josie makes the pair. Fulton to Wiley, good entry pass. Stevens turns and scores. That was too easy. 8-point game. Josie, left side, comes back to the near side, being chased. Still keeps the dribble, nicely done. Good catch by Bowles. He'll drive, pull up from 15, no. Rebounded, no. Who's going to get the defensive rebound? After the Taylor miss, it's Tyrese Spencer, but the Indians turn it over on the outlet. They kind of would like to have that back after getting a stop.
Yeah, get a stop, and you have a good opportunity in transition. Just a bad pass to the sideline here, near side.
Brent will lob backcourt to Josie. He's guarded there by Adams. Switch, but he gets past Mitchell. Pulls it up. Stevens almost had a steal. Nicholson keeps possession. It's deflected off of Olsen Nicholson. Good defense again by the Indians. Stevens and Fulton are feeling it. They're spearheading this comeback. Corey Fulton has been front and center in this comeback in this quarter.
Yeah, Fulton and Stevens with 7 points in the quarter, too. He's been much better than he was in the first half. Letting the ball roll again. Save some time.
It's worked, hasn't it? Baseline. Mitchell pulls it back out. Fulton long three. Front rim, no. Rebounded by Bowles.
I like the thought, but not the best shot to take there for Fulton. If there was a shot clock, it would be way too early in the shot clock there and contested from a couple feet beyond the arc.
Bowles near side, drains the 12-footer. 14 for Keandre Bowles. He's got 14 points and 7 rebounds. Cam Wiley into the forecourt, 29 seconds. 10-point lead for Woodland Hills. They're up 14 at halftime. Penn Hills has cut 4 off of that, trying to cut a little more off of that late here in the third. Stevens bounces into the corner. Mitchell's three, back rim, no good. Rebounded by Bowles, and Bowles is fouled from behind by Tyree Spencer. So Woodland Hills has withstood a little bit of a push here in the third quarter. 11 and a half to go. Well, that's a bad entry pass. Stolen by Yarbo. Yarbo is fouled by Tremont Josie.
Good foul, too. Team
fouls 5 now for Woodland Hills, 3 for the Indians. I agree. Also, it would have been a 2-on-1 down low. They forced Penn Hills to run an offensive set on the left baseline inbound with Corey Fulton. Smacks the ball. Lobs it out to Kyrie Hairston Mitchell. Flips it near side to Wiley. Left side three. A little bit off. Tipped up, no good. At the buzzer by Stevens. And the third quarter is in the books. After 3, Woodland Hills 50. Penn Hills 40. Back with the fourth quarter right after this. You're watching WPIAL Boys Basketball 2018. Coverage is right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Turf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Recor-Tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Welcome back to Woodland Hills High School with Kyle Dawson. I'm Bob Orkwis. Chris Lackner running the show tonight, producing the video stream broadcast. Glad you're aboard the Trib Live High School Sports Network. We're going to get a restart to the fourth quarter, I think. 50-40 lead for Woodland Hills here at home. Penn Hills will have the basketball to start. I believe with Dale Ross and Joe Janik are having a conversation, and now David Lawrence joins in. That's not a good way to start the quarter. Woodland Hills called for a technical foul for having 6 players on the court to start the fourth quarter. Corey Fulton makes the first. He's got 8 points. Trying to make it 9, and that cuts 2 points off the 10-point lead and the possession for Penn Hills. So Fulton missed the second, however, so.
Still a point. All for a bad mistake.
Call it an unforced error. Ball near side to Davon Stevens. Skip cross court. Wiley's three is good. They've been working on that. Wiley finally hits it.
4-point swing.
6-point game. And Bowles loses the ball. He did a good job to save it, to snag it. Then they dribbled it off his foot. Turnover, Woodland Hills. Here come the Indians. Corey Fulton brings it forecourt left. Davon Stevens back out to Yarbrough. Wiley, three from the left corner. Air balls that one. Rebound deflected around. Bulls had it. Bulls lost it out of bounds. Penn Hills possession. Their fans in their student section across the way are getting fired up. Lob in, catch, miss by Davon Stevens. Out of bounds off the Indians. Not a bad idea, but a little bit far from the iron to grab that catch and tap almost. Mason is in for Penn Hills. And that gives Olsen Nicholson a chance to re-enter for Woodland Hills. Lob into Wilson, long pass up the floor. Bulls can't save it. Ball security not so great for Woodland Hills in the second half.
It's just been sloppy. Working through the full court pressure, outlet passes have not been good. That another example right there on that possession.
6-point game. It's been that way since the start of the quarter after the technical free throw, 1 of 2, and then the 3 by Wiley. Good pass underneath. Stevens, Fulton hangs, back rims the shot. Good rebound by Keyshawn Adams. He goes to the hoop. He draws the foul. Khalil Wilson picks up his third. And that's also 58 seconds, Kyle, into the fourth quarter. 17 fouls against the Wolverines.
Lots of free throws for a good free throw shooting team in the fourth quarter. That's one way to bring yourselves back in the game. First one good for Adams. He's 2 of 3 tonight from the line and a 72% free throw shooter on the year.
6 points now in the game for Keyshawn Adams. Another timeout, a full timeout taken by Woodland Hills and head coach Odell Miller. If you're a working professional ready to move up in your career, Seton Hill University has a program just for you. Seton Hill's adult degree program offers flexible undergraduate degree courses in areas like accounting, criminal justice, business, and human services. The adult degree program has 5 start dates a year and offers convenient course times, financial aid, a 96% placement rate, and career services for life. Register for our next info session and learn more at setonhill.edu/ADP. Seton Hill University, this way up. You got moves like that, Chris?
I like the shirt, by the way. Little red NWO shirt.
On whiteout night. Woodland Hills, predominantly, they threw white T-shirts out. Adams makes the pair. He's got 7, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point game.
Told you at halftime this game wasn't over.
Here comes that pressure. That's been one of the differences in the second half. Keandre Bowles on the near side, back to Amonte Britt. Britt had 16 at the half. He has just 2 in the second half. Driving layup is a little bit strong by Tremont Josie. Good rebound by Nicholson, but then he's tied up. And the possession arrow in the alternate possession favors Woodland Hills. A little bit out of control on that driving shot attempt by Tremont Josie. Right baseline inbound for the Wolverines with Amonte Britt. Keandre Bowles will work it to Tremont Josie. Dribbles left, stops and brings it back out near half court. Finds room on the clear out, drives in, gets his own rebound. Luckily, kind of made one extra move in that shot. Near side three by Bowles is no good. Rebounded by Daryl Mason.
Took a long time to set himself in the corner before taking the shot.
Not sure that's the shot they were looking for. Cam Wiley has it to Corey Fulton. Penn Hill's trying to cut further into this deficit. They have never led in this contest. Ball is deflected, and it's in the hands of the turnover of Khalil Wilson. Outlet to Josie. There's Amonte Britt. Boy, has he got a quick step. Hesitate, left-handed, left layup drive, score.
If they're going to win this game, they need him to take over, and that's a great start to it. Beautiful reverse layup.
That hesitation move is devastating. 6-point lead for the Wolverines. Cam Wiley at half court to Yarbrough, to Fulton, to Mason. And there's Wiley, back to Daryl Mason. Into the corner. Devon Stevens. Foul away from the basketball was charged on Daryl Mason. Good ball movement. That was turning into a good possession, at least that way for Penn Hills. But Mason's foul gives the possession back over to Woodland Hills. Still plenty of time left. 5:25 to go in the fourth quarter. 52-46 lead for the Wolverines. They have the ball. Britt to Josie. Forecourt right. Tremont Josie had it deflected, but it comes right to Nicholson. Back out to Wilson, and now Britt. Back to Khalil Wilson. Near side to Keandre Bowles. Back to Britt. Pass deflected. Good catch underneath. Turning. Shot was blocked. Nicholson's shot was blocked by Wiley, partially deflected. Stevens with a rebound. Into the forecourt he goes. He gets it back. Devon Stevens. Guarded by Josie. Near side to Kyrie Mitchell. He goes to the right. Back near side to Devon Stevens. Wiley left side. Wiley's three is good. He's got 11. 2 trays in the fourth quarter for Cam Wiley.
Big time shot.
The lead is 3.
This is a huge defensive possession for Penn Hills.
Wilson underneath. Good passing. Shot is missed. Rebound, no. By Bowles after his own miss is no good, but he draws the foul. Great passing. Nicholson left side to Keandre Bowles right side.
And Bowles got himself a second chance. 2 fouls on Wiley. Second for him. 2 for Bowles at the free throw line. And this is time for Woodland Hills for a gut check. One of the big things that Odell Miller preached to us a couple of weeks ago before that Fox Chapel game was the free throw shooting needed to be better this season. It was one of the low points of what is a 17-3 season so far. Was 0 of 11 to start that game. Have picked it up a little bit since. These are huge down the stretch, and the first one misses.
Keandre Bowles now 1 of 2 from the free throw line in the game. 14 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for Keandre Bowles. Yarbrough back in for the Indians. Nicholson or Bowles trying to make it at least a 2-possession game. There's still plenty of time left not to look out for that. But again, Penn Hills has never led. The lead back up to 4 as Bowles splits the pair. Corey Fulton will work it into the forecourt. Left. Lob to Stevens. Turn. He left it short. He kind of lost track of where he was underneath the hoop. Khalil Wilson rebounded for the Wolverines. He has it at half court. Into the forecourt to Nicholson. To Britt. Pulls it back out, keeps the dribble in the double team, and reach in Yarbrough with a steal, and that's personal number 4 against Amante Britt.
Correct call, too. The ball had gotten a little bit away from the play, but absolutely Britt grabbed what will be the shooter now, and Miles Yarbrough. Bonus opportunity for him. Penn Hills in the bonus the rest of the way with 4 minutes left. You got to be careful if you're Woodland Hills. Again, points when the clock is stopped.
Yarbrough misses. Wiley rebounds. Timeout, Dan DeRose with 3:51 to go. And these possessions becoming more and more magnified as time ticks down here in the fourth quarter. And these two teams tied atop Section 3 here in 6A with 10-2 section records. A share of the section title is on the line. The winner of tonight gets that. And then obviously with a victory Friday, they can be the outright section champion.
Field set, by the way. Seneca Valley won 39-32 over North Allegheny. So SV's in 6A, and there's your 12 teams.
39-32, and you think, wow, we could use a shot clock, right?
Yes.
That just adds fuel to your fire and your argument.
Exactly.
So Seneca Valley is the 12th and final playoff team. Playoff field, as Kyle said, is set in Section 1. Central Catholic, Butler, Pine, Richland, and Seneca Valley are in Section 2. Kenny McMillan, Mount Lebanon, Bethel Park, and Upper St. Clair. In this section, Penn Hills, Woodland Hills, Fox Chapel, Latrobe, the seedings are not set. Butler and Pittsburgh Central Catholic on Friday, or tonight, that's on the network, and those two teams are playing for first place in Section 1. Kenny McMillan at Baldwin, Mount Lebanon at Peters Township in Section 2. Friday night, our schedule is yet to be set because we want to bring in the most important games out there. So stay tuned to our website to find out where your fave team is playing and if they're on the network. You know where they're playing. It's a question or not of whether Trib Live will be there. Fulton, that was deflected by Britt, wasn't it?
I think they're going to talk about it. Maybe, maybe not.
Corey Fulton certainly thought it was. Sit over and back. Foul in the backcourt against Corey Fulton. That'll be his 4th personal. 16 foul against the Indians.
4 personals for Fulton, 4 for Britt, 3 for Josie and Wilson for Woodland Hills. All to keep in mind as we head down the stretch here.
They work it into the forecourt. Oh, almost went out of bounds off of the hands of Bulls, but it touched the foot of Miles Yarbrough. And Woodland Hills retains possession, a near sideline inbound for Amante Britt. Trying to get it in over the 6'5", Davon Stevens. Lobs to the backcourt. To Bulls, back to Britt. Britt's left. Josie, 3. No good. Rebound. Off the hands of Adams. No, they say off the hands actually of Khalil Wilson. It's Indians basketball. Maybe not the shot you're looking for again for Woodland Hills.
No. Again, if it was a shot clock a little too early in it, not an open look really by any stretch of the imagination. Now you got to go defend.
Penn Hills down 4. Wiley entry pass, a nice one. Turning and scoring, Davon Stevens. He has 15.
First points of the fourth quarter for Stevens. He's got to be impactful in the last 3 minutes if Penn Hills is going to win this game.
It's a 2-point game. Josie up the floor, leaves his feet. Underneath, deflected by Bulls, and they lose it. Underneath, they're going to call a tie-up. It came into Kyrie Mitchell. Arrow favors the Indians. Penn Hills has never led. They trailed by as many as 16. They have a chance to take the lead with a 3. Dan DeRose directing traffic. Fulton has possession to Mitchell. Wiley gets it into Stevens for the tie. Left that way short. Rebounded by Bulls. Bulls now with 11 boards. Britt to Josie. Josie stops at half court. Bulls, right side drive, score! And one! A huge basket for the Wolverines and the 6'1" junior, Keandre Bowles. Second personal against Keyshawn Adams.
What a finish for Bowles at the can. Big free throw here.
We saw the defender coming too. Really well done for Bowles. Makes the and one. 18 and 11 for Keandre Bowles. That's his season average as far as points. Adams, Fulton, Adams, Wiley, three, no. Rebound, Devon Stevens knocked away from behind by Tremont Josie. Penn Hills retains possession with a left baseline inbound. Fulton sets it up. 5-point lead for Woodland Hills. To Stevens. No. Over the back. Keyshawn Adams. And it's a 1-and-1 for Woodland Hills as they are now in the bonus. Free throws become paramount for both teams. 56-51 lead for the Wolverines with 2:05 left in the fourth quarter. Olsen Nicholson makes the first. Nicholson now 1 of 2 from the free throw line in this game. He's got 9 points, trying to make it 10 and put the lead back up to 7 for Woody High, and can't do it. Adams clears the boards defensively for the Indians. Corey Fulton. Wiley in front of his own bench, back to Fulton. Back to Cam Wiley. Near side of Yarbrough. Finds Stevens. Drives in from the left, blocks up. No, but he draws the foul. Nice assertive drive on the near side by Davon Stevens. Khalil Wilson picks up his fourth personal. Stevens to the free throw line. He's 0 of 2 from the foul line tonight. Makes the first, 16 now for Stevens. Tyree Spencer in for the Indians. Out goes Keyshawn Adams. Second opportunity is good. It's a 4-point game. Woodland Hills up 57 to 53.
Get a stop.
17 for the Indians. Inbounded to Bowles. Up the far side he goes. Near side, Wilson, back out to Britt. Britt directs traffic against the trap. Breaks the pressure. Drives to the right side. Count the basket. 22 and counting for Amante Britt. Cam Wiley picks up the personal, his third. Boy, Britt's downshift and upshift, that's tremendous.
Also returning, Tyree Mitchell.
6-point game with 90 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Foul line right for Britt. Back rim, no. Rebounded by Davon Stevens. He's got a double-double now with 17 points and 11 rebounds. Corey Fulton loses the ball. Britt with the steal, but we try to draw the foul, and he scores anyway. Try to draw that foul, try to get Davon Stevens on his back. Now Fulton falls down, and they lose the basketball. Woodland Hills up 8, and that might have just turned this game permanently in the favor of Woody High. Khalil Wilson to Amante Britt. Hooked by Stevens. And Britt will shoot a pair. And there goes to that. My intentional foul discussion. Didn't we have that discussion?
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago? Because Woodland Hills wanted an intentional foul, and it certainly was. It's just the arbitrariness, if I can make up a word, of that call.
Shooting 2 for the Wolverines, Britt.
Because he intentionally fouled to prevent a layup. So what's the difference? 52.7 to go. Britt with 24. Britt still with 24. He's struggled. He's made his first 3 free throw attempts. He's missed his last 2. Second opportunity. 61-53 Woodland Hills. 62-53 Woodland Hills. Up the floor, Fulton. Nice job. Blocked! Emphatically by Olsen Nicholson. Fulton to Adams. Blocked! Emphatically by Olsen Nicholson. He's got 5 blocks. Amante Britt, no. Rebound. Keandre Bowles. Khalil Wilson is going to pick up his 5th personal. He'll foul out with 2 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. It will send Davon Stevens to the line with a double bonus. Misses the first. Second is good. 18 for Davon Stevens.
31.5 seconds away from your first section title in, since 2011, 2012. Safe to say Woodland Hills basketball might be back.
They withstood a serious punch in the second half by Penn Hills. So there's a foul as Britt gets into the forecourt and is hooked with 22.5 seconds left. But the big factor, Penn Hills never led in this game. They trailed by as many, or Woodland Hills led by as many as 16. The lead was back down to 3, actually 2. But they never relinquished it. Personal, by the way, called against Daryl Mason, his second. Britt makes the first. He gets the second. Second is also good. Game high 27 for Monte Britt. Wiley resets, flips it to Fulton, who drives and lays and scores. 10 now for Corey Fulton. Another assist for Cam Wiley. Ball is inbounded to Tremont Josie. To Britt. To Bulls. Bulls was a big difference. Just 8 in the loss earlier in the year. Kyle. 20 and 12 tonight for Keandre Bowles.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Inside the WPIAL Wrestling Circle every Monday at 7 o'clock on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Each week, we'll take a look at the latest happenings on the mat from around the WPIAL, talk with coaches, and get you set for what's to come as the season rolls on. Come out and see us every Monday as the show we broadcast live from 40 Bar and Grill just west of Washington on Route 40 inside the WPIAL Wrestling Circle every Monday night at 7 o'clock only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Trib Live has a little something for everyone. Sports from high school to the pros. News from across the street and around the world. Arts and entertainment, lifestyles, opinion, weather, photo galleries, video. You can even find your next job, house, and car. So look alive, Pittsburgh, and get the news you want and information you need all in one place. TribLive.com. TribLive.com. News and more 24/7.
For a weekly in-depth look at boys and girls high school basketball in the district, log on to the WPIAL Round Ball Report every Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Join experts Chris Harlan, Sean Myers, and James Dawson for coaches' interviews and the latest hoops news around the WPIAL. Oh, and Don Rebel is back on the show as well. That's the WPIAL Round Ball Report, Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Back at a happy Woodland Hills High School as the Wolverines hold serve tonight on senior night. They defeat the Penn Hills Indians by a score of 66-56. And in turn, clinch a share of the section championship.
At least. Could be outright.
Could be.
Right now, all alone in first place at 11-2. Two teams with 3 losses now after Fox Chapel beat Latrobe earlier. Win on Friday, and it's a solo conference championship.
Yeah, Friday night becomes another big one. On the road to Penn Trafford, even though the Warriors are not in the playoffs, still a tough opponent. And I think Woodland Hills would tend to be very focused heading into that contest. We're going to try to get a word with Odell Miller. We're up top here, and he's receiving, deservedly so, Kyle, a lot of congratulations. How about the mob scene in front of the Woodland Hills bench after the game with the students rushing the court?
A school, like we've mentioned a couple of times throughout the night, didn't exactly have a lot of athletic success if it wasn't on the football field. 2011-2012, the basketball program on the boys' side won 25 games, lost in the first round, a really disappointing finish to that season, but this is all of a sudden a basketball program again. Playoff appearance last year, you get your first playoff win in 22 years for the school. This year it looks like you might be making a deeper run into the postseason. A really good Woodland Hills team. Amonte Britt leads the way with 27 tonight. Keandre Bowles with 20. He was awesome. A lot of awesome things for Woodland Hills tonight. And, of course, you love to see the mob scene that gives you a section championship. A lot of success and a lot of energy in this gym tonight pays off.
We got word that Odell Miller will come up. Let's give the post-game scoring recap brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine.
UPMC Sports Medicine, of course, powering the Stay Strong and Play On program with the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Let's start with the visiting Penn Hills Indians. 18 points. Davon Stevens led the way. 10 points from Corey Fulton. 11 points from Cam Wiley. 7 points from Keyshawn Adams. 4 from Tyree Spencer and Miles Yarbo. And Kyrie Mitchell had 2 points. No points for Daryl Mason. He was 0 for 2 from the free throw line. By quarter for Penn Hills, 7, 14, 19, and 16 for a grand total of 56. Penn Hills drops to 18-3 overall, 10-3 in Class 6A Section 3 play. Quickly for Woodland Hills, Amonte Britt led the way with 27. 20 points for Keandre Bowles, 9 points from Olson Nicholson, 4 apiece from Naz Taylor and Traymon Josie, 2 points from Khalil Wilson. By quarter for Woodland Hills, 14, 21, 15, and 16 for a total of 66. Woodland Hills to 18-3 overall, 11-2, clinching a share at least, maybe outright with a win on Friday of the Class 6A Section 3 title.
Odell Miller, nice enough to join us after his team gets a 10-point victory over Penn Hills. Coach, earlier in the year, after you lost on the road at Penn Hills, you said they owned it. You kind of took it back tonight, did you not?
Yes, sir. They're a great team. We always felt that we could beat them, but we had a rough third quarter there. Going into the fourth, man, their press, we kept turning the ball over. Then I'm back into the game. I told them at halftime, I said, the game is not over. Every good team is going to make another run, and they did.
But you held it on. You guys never trailed in this contest. How good, number one, well, you've never made it. You made it in the locker room, but your team never did. How good was that scene in front of the bench with everyone hugging, and how good did those hugs feel for you afterwards, clinching a share of the section championship?
Yeah, I'm just happy for our kids and the community. We got to the semifinals last year. Every year we're building, the kids are believing in the program. It's getting better and better. So now we just got to keep it running. Got to win the next game and try to win it outright. And then on to the playoffs. And the way the playoffs are set up, every team is good.
Indeed it is. Amonte Britt was huge tonight for 27. Talk about his performance, and also, Coach Miller, what has he meant to this program?
Amonte Britt, as a freshman, was named captain. Started for 4 years. He's our leader, and he did a good job tonight. Tremendous for our program. We were lucky to get a kid like him in 9th grade, and I'm glad his parents decided to keep him in the district.
We're talking with Odell Miller. The Wolverines defeat Penn Hills tonight at home, 66-56. I'm Bob Orkwis, along with Kyle Dawson.
We talked about before the Fox Chapel game that Bob and I had about free throws being a big factor. Maybe a little bit of a struggle on that night, 0 of 11 to start, but down the stretch, free throws were good tonight. Has that been an improvement down the stretch here?
Well, like I said, the Fox Chapel game, we just had a bad game.
Yep.
And as you all know, as you were there, I forgot what the percentage was, but it was really bad. I think we shot like maybe 4% from the line or something crazy like that. But even if we would have made our free throws, even if we'd have played well, Fox Chapel played so well that night, they probably still would have beat us. I mean, they had a phenomenal night that night. Like I said, man, on any given night, anybody can win in our section.
What is this section like? Obviously a great atmosphere tonight, and for the people that may not know how good this section is, it's like playing a semifinal playoff game or a championship game every night with the top four.
Even our weaker teams, so-called weaker teams, can beat you on any given night, man. The 4 teams that didn't make the playoffs, man, don't nobody look at them and say, oh, yeah, that's a win, because that's not how it is. Every night you got to prepare. Every night you got to get your kids' heads right, and you got to go out and play, or you will get beat. That's how tough this section is.
What was the performance like from Keandre tonight? He's got 20 points, held to 8 the last time against this team. He kind of made a difference tonight, too.
20 and 12 by my count.
Well, when I look at the statistics, the 3 games that we lost, he was held under 10. He gets double figures, we usually win.
That's a big difference then.
You might have answered my question. I was going to ask you how about a key Friday and key into the playoffs. So key number 1, obviously, is getting Keandre in double figures. How about some other keys, Coach? You already know you're in the playoffs, and you said it's going to be a tough field. What are keys for you internally to be successful? Friday, obviously, you don't want to overlook that, but into the postseason.
No, not at all, because we need that game Friday to win it outright,
right,
and to hopefully get a first-round bye. And, and that's not guaranteed. As I said, the playoff seedings are going to be tough. I would love to be able to sit that first game, give my kids some rest and a little bit more time to prepare for someone.
If it counts, if you win Friday, even now, I'll put you in for a first-round bye. How about that? See if I have any pull with the WPIAL.
Well, you do that. You do that.
Odell Miller, thanks.
Yes,
congratulations on a big victory tonight. Thanks for coming up. Odell Miller's Wolverines victorious tonight, 66-56 over the Penn Hills Indians. And that post-game interview brought to you by Carlow University, proud sponsor of all girls high school sports here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. That's it. Great atmosphere, great victory for Woodland Hills. You got to take care of business for the Wolverines Friday night against Penn Trafford. If you're Penn Hills, you want to stay in the hunt too. You want to stay sharp and focused. They're going to be a good team too. I really like this 12-team tournament in 6A.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun 6A playoffs, and these two are two of the teams that I think are going to be really big factors in that 6A playoff. Penn Hills isn't a slouch. This loss doesn't define Penn Hills. An 18-3 record right now, that is phenomenal. A 10-point loss against a really good basketball team on the road on senior night in an atmosphere like this is nothing to shake your head out. Plus, it's neutral in the playoffs. You're not coming back to Woodland Hills if you have to play them again. This could potentially be a semifinal matchup, maybe a quarterfinal matchup in Class 6A, but I think the 6A playoffs are going to be really fun if the story is anything like tonight.
Plus, for Penn Hills, you're hosting Latrobe, and you want to be, again, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, Kyle, you want to put your resume together to be that fourth team, because we're assuming the 3 section champions would get a title. And there's still a chance at the section title if Woodland Hills would lose Friday, but if you're Penn Hills, you want to finish strong with that win against a tough Latrobe team.
Yeah, big opportunity for them. Latrobe, by last check, fell to Fox Chapel, so Latrobe's at 9-4 in the section. They need a win to kind of get better seeding too. They don't want to play a second-place team in the first. Well, they're going to play a second-place team in the first round likely anyway, but they don't want to play a really good second-place team in the first round. So they have a lot to play for too. That game Friday is obviously a pretty important one for both these teams. It won't determine if a team makes the playoffs, but it will determine seeds out of this section, especially with Fox Chapel playing. Where's Fox Chapel? Fox Chapel's hosting Plum on Friday, and that's a last-place Plum Mustangs team. So you'd have to assume. And again, not that you can't assume anything in this section, just like Odell Miller just told us, but you have to assume Fox Chapel, maybe the hottest team in the WPIAL, gets a win on Friday and sits in that second or third spot, and then this game becomes for the number 2.
That's it. A couple program reminders. We'll jump ahead a week from tonight, Tuesday night, next Tuesday, on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, the WPIAL Basketball Playoff Pairing Show. You can watch that, listen to that here on the network, but don't forget, a whole slate of games, important ones on Friday.
And
we'll
Thursday.
find out that schedule Thursday as well as we wind down the stretch run here for everyone out there. Be safe tomorrow. We don't know what the weather's going to bring, snow and rain and ice and snow and rain. It's all a whole mixed bag. These two schools have a 2-hour delay, so you can enjoy that. A couple thank yous. Dan DeRose from Penn Hills for helping us out earlier. Big thank you to Ron Krause, Odell Miller, and the fine staff here at Woodland Hills for taking care of us. Thank you to my partner, Kyle Dawson. Thank you to Chris Lackner, producing from behind the camera. I'm Bob Orkwis. Your final score from Woodland Hills. The Woodland Hills Wolverines 66, the Penn Hills Indians 56. You've been watching WPIAL Basketball 2018. You saw it right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
You have been listening to WPIAL Basketball 2017-2018 here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by AstroTurf, by Carlow University, proud sponsor of the 2018 WPIAL Girls Basketball Playoffs, and by Trib Total Media. You can follow the 2017-2018 WPIAL boys and girls basketball season every day by logging on to tribhssn.triblive.com. The preceding has been a special presentation of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.